Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. Today is day three of attraction tactics, and I'm really excited to be making this one because usually when it comes to attraction, there's multiple channels of communicating some attraction and pushing things forward. And when we talk about attraction, really you're trying to get her to like you. So it means that you are predominantly doing different things to keep things fresh, exciting, playful. And there's a vibe that you're trying to protect. When I say vibe, is that there's a certain feeling amongst your interactions that you're trying to maintain, so that interaction is those feelings are feelings of happiness towards the relationship. So when she thinks about the relationship, she's got positive thoughts towards that. So that's what you're trying to create as you're doing attraction. So as she thinks about you, she has the feeling of, I really like this guy. And that's really what you're trying to do. So when you do that often enough, when you do get into seduction, when she's more compliant within seduction because you've had positive associations or positive interactions up until that point. Now, when I say positive interactions, don't take it as though I'm talking about positive feelings. Positive interactions could be, like for me on Monday, could be a place where we're both frustrated out of the interaction, but it's a positive one because, and just bear with me for a second, it's positive because we're both speaking the truth. So I was speaking to a client yesterday, and right now in his relationship, it's a little bit up in the air, and one of the things is that they were the most truthful in the entire relationship. Like this was like the most raw that they could get after a long time, and it caused a massive fracture within the relationship. And I was saying to him, when you're dishonest and it causes fracture in the relationship, it highlights what you need to fix within the relationship. So sex actually is not the issue. It actually becomes more of how do we interact in a way that when I'm the most truthful, while it hurts and while it pushes us sort of out of the comfort zone, how do we navigate the negative feelings around that? Because most of the times when within a relationship, we lie to each other in order to try and maintain this, trying to avoid negative feelings. So a positive interaction isn't you just walking away feeling happy. A positive interaction is actually you guys being having the ability to be honest to each other. And when I say honest, like if you want to be honest, I was quite honest to him and quite raw with him. I said, yeah, in the toughest time of my sexless relationship, I would think if the kids were not here, I would have fucked off. And I think a lot of you guys have got the same feeling that I really hate this relationship because of the way where it is. And if it wasn't because of the whatever financial commitment or if it wasn't for the kids, I would have gone. And I know a lot of you guys feel that way, and some of you have actually left ex-wives, and you find yourself in a second marriage and thinking, "What the fuck? How did I? Oh shit! I'm on YouTube. I shouldn't be swearing." But you're thinking, "Why is it that I'm not back at this place again?" So my point I'm going down that rabbit hole. My point is that the interactions that you have, most of you guys are obsessed with trying to make it positive. And when it comes to the channels of attraction, you then tend to use virtual as another method of uh, creating that feeling. So, for example, you think, oh, maybe I want to have sex with this woman, so let me check up on her on today. So, some of you guys have probably sent a text saying, hope you have a good day, honey. All that bullshit. Stop doing that bullshit. Don't ever do that. That is very, very bad. And then maybe you say, uh, I'm looking forward to the weekend. Kim, I hope we get to connect. Yeah, you know, all this, anytime you are doing all of that, where you're checking in, or she's got an expectation for you to tell her that you love her throughout the day, or you trying to say, you look sexy, all of that stuff, all interactions on the phone like that, you need to stop. I can guarantee you it's hurting you more than you actually know. because when it comes to attraction, there is principles to it. And again, you'll never hear this from anybody else, but it's the most fundamental thing when it comes to attraction. She has to give you emotional investment in order for you to actually start pushing attraction. Now, when she's on the other side of the town or city or at home or whatever, if she's not with you, you can't control her emotional investment. So therefore, you can't even you can induce it by texting. So you say something to precursor emotion, so you can do attraction. You can do that. That's one method. But again, that's advanced stuff. Right now, I want you to focus on one channel, and that channel is you communicating with her face to face and nothing else. And up until this point, you've tried to be spinning plates when it comes to attraction. You're doing all sorts, too many things, and none of it is potent. None of it is getting you to where you want to be right now. So if you get rid of everything else, focus on one thing. So no texting, no um no other channels, but just you speaking to her, and that's going to be the only thing that you're going to do. I want you to get better at being playful. I want you to get a better at. And when I say playful, I mean you enjoying yourselves, you having a way of making yourself feel good, and then you inviting her into that. And what I'm going to explain a little bit more about that. So, today, which is today, as I walked in the morning, saw my wife. We went through the same conversation we go through. Good morning, because it's not a good morning. I'm tired. I didn't get to sleep, and so on, and blah blah blah, and so on. And then, uh, because I'd already walked in with good emotions, just come from the gym and so on. I just started poking fun at her. I was like, yeah, you know, you could um take my sleep and stuff. I was saying stuff that is not particularly funny, but it was funny to me. And she was getting a little bit annoyed, but slapping me and so on. So we started playing fight, and then she started having a good vibe around it. So while she was tired and so on, with a good positive association. But the fundamental thing about this is that I wasn't saying it with the intent of I'm going to say this thing in order for you to laugh. I was just saying this because I think this is amusing to me. I'm going to poke fun at you. Whether you like it or not, I don't give a shit. And what tends to happen is that it comes across more positive than negative. Because if I try to make her laugh, she will sense the fact that I'm trying to make her laugh, and it comes across as trying too hard, and then therefore it looks not valuable. So hopefully I've sort of put it all together. So just to sum it up, when it comes to attraction, one channel, and that's you speaking to her, you trying to induce an emotion. So when I say inducing an emotion, is that you are pretty much like, I'll put it this way. I didn't precast our interaction by inducing an emotion. What I did was just poke fun. And naturally the emotions that we had yesterday were reintroduced, so that was playful fun and so on, and we just started playing in that vein. Now if she was disrespectful or whatever, or she was having a really bad day, or she wanted to vent some frustrations, I would have been open to that and probably listened and then let her finish. When she's finished, I'm like, okay, thank you very much for telling me this information, and then sort of walk away. I wouldn't deal with the information unless she says, I need you to make a decision on this. Then I'll make a decision. But otherwise, if she was venting, which is probably some few guys what you get a lot, where we walk in and then she's got all these things that she needs to get off her chest, where she's talking about maybe the kids, things that are going on in her life. With Kathy has been gossiping, whatever is going on, she might need to get unload all of this stuff, and then I'll probably listen to all of this and say, okay, she probably needs that outlet, that social outlet. I'll let her do that, all of that stuff. Once she's done doing all of that, then if there's no decision that needs to be made from my part, it doesn't affect my kids, doesn't affect our finances, doesn't affect our household, then there's nothing I'm going to do to fix. Now, some of you guys get into, if I fix this, then she might see me as this guy who's good at fixing, and then therefore she's going to be attracted to me. And then, so there's a few things when it comes to, or at least some constraints I'm trying to put when you do have those interactions, that you're going to keep it playful. And when I say playful, I want you to be thinking of things that make you laugh, things that make you think, just things that make you laugh. And I think that's the other problem with a few of you guys. You don't know what makes you laugh, and you don't explore that. Generally, I listen to podcasts, I listen to books, I do stuff, but I got a healthy dose of comedians that I listen to. So when I'm driving, I tend to listen to comedians. I tend to listen to stupid shit. I like to watch stupid shows. So like I was watching Will Ferrell's film the other day, Shake and Bake. I thought that was absolutely good. But it's stuff like that. I keep my funny bone. Um, I train my funny bone. So because I'm listening to uh, uh, comedy, I'm listening to people comedians speaking. It helps me to think in a cynical way, just like they do, and then therefore in my relationship it helps. So, and it's just giving away my little secret there, but it's very important that you have a healthy dose. Some of you guys are you overindulge with content on changing your sexless relationship to the point that you're too fat with that content. It's stopping you from actually doing anything positive within your relationship. So you need a really good balance. I can tell you guys I'm more obsessed than anybody else, but I know for a fact that there are many times when, like, I don't know if it's your first time, one of my all-time favorite films is Waterboy. I probably watched it about 60 times now, and I watch it over and over because it's silly. And I know the story. I know probably know it word for word what he's gonna say, but it's the funny bone I'm trying to get to. And I'm trying, and I know that it's going to make me laugh. It pushes my buttons every single time. And you think, oh, aren't you tired of watching the same film? No, I'm not tired of watching the same film because I think it's silly enough to keep me entertained. Now, this is very important because when you can do this consistently and have that moment where you can train that funny bone, it makes it easier to then to interact in a relationship where you can be cynical, when you can see things in a cynical way, and then because it makes you laugh, it's going to invite her into that sort of frame. When you do, what then tends to happen is that she starts associating interactions with you with her releasing fun. But one last point, the reason why being playful is extremely powerful is that the moment she walks out the door and she goes to work, if she's going to work, or she interacts with people, generally most people are meeting people and they're having neutral interactions or negative interactions because everybody feels like the world, life is shit, especially when it comes to adults. Or when she's in the household and she's watching TV, it's either she's in a neutral state or she's got a negative feeling. So you become a really good source of really positive interactions. And when you do, it's extremely powerful because all of a sudden you're this social outlet that is positive. And this is when she likes you. So when you're now going to seduction, she's more likely to be compliant because she likes you. So just to end it on here, guys, it's been a pretty cool series to talk about, especially when I'm documenting my own. I'm giving you an insight of my own relationship and how I think about things. It has been difficult because I'm trying to think about what I'm doing and then think about how I'm going to convey it on the podcast. So it might come up, it might be all over the place, but hopefully I'm giving you enough golden nuggets to take home so you can actually fix your sexless relationship. So thank you very much, guys. I'll be seeing you soon. Take care.